This video is a notice to all cloppers. Attention, all cloppers. We are coming for you, okay? The Turkey Squad has taken full advantage of the new president's drone technology, and we will be targeting your location, so get ready for us to bring the boom. Guys, I'm very pleased to say that today is a terrible day for bronies, which, honestly, what day isn't a terrible day for most bronies? Have most bronies ever even had a good day in their life? I think that literally almost every brony I've ever covered in my history on YouTube has been some kind of variant of freaky fella, has had some kind of allegations, opinions about the age of consent. Now, the one positive interaction I did have was when I actually went to a brony convention in a video, and, you know, that was mostly fine. Those guys were totally cool, but the ones you hear about on the internet, I mean, they're just not bringing their best here. I want you guys to close your eyes right now and picture a brony, but not just any ordinary brony, no. Picture what you think is the epitome of a degenerate brony. Do you have a clear picture in your head? Maybe exaggerate it just a bit. You think that's a little too crazy to be true? Your imagination is deceiving you? Well, my friends, it's time to meet Dan's Burst Studios, a brony that is so autistic and depraved. These things are unrelated, of course, but he's so autistic and depraved that frankly, it's hard to believe this is a real person behind the cartoon avatar. Now, in addition to the usual brony traits that you guys have unfortunately come to expect, like obsessing over jerking off to pastel-colored horses meant for 14-year-olds, Dan's Burst actually believes himself to be a profound intellectual and revolutionary thinker who yearns to really share his wisdom with the masses. He's got a lot to say. Now, the Dan's Burst philosophy, the Dan's Burstian philosophy, as it were, ranges from defending the morality of zoophilia to defending pedophiles, pedosexuality, and engaging in being a massive fan of Shadman art, which he presents in poorly made videos that he shares to all 53 of his loyal subscribers on YouTube.com. So today we will in fact be punching down, as the annoying people like to call it, but I just don't really care. Now, Dan is an interesting case of someone who actually uses the website that primarily hates them and makes fun of them, being Kiwi Farms. Dan's Burst even interacts with other notorious bronies that accidentally found their way onto the farms, such as the infamous, and this is not a made-up name by the way, Peppermint Swirl, also known as Foster U, who is a Mexican brony that Dan's Burst specifically came to Kiwi Farms to defend. He was on those demonic keyboard warrior hours righteously defending this individual from what he believed to be false accusations. Now, why did this guy think that going to a website that kind of hates his entire existence was a good idea? Frankly, I do not know, but from his own reasoning, he's not afraid of his enemies. He wants to confront them head on, especially by owning them with very well thought out, intellectual, objective, moral arguments that at the end of the day, just no one can really argue with.
I'm going to be arguing against two separate but related claims. First, that zoophilia is morally wrong, and next, that zoophilia should be illegal. Well, let's start with the first.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
Now, we don't know a lot about Dan's Burst's early life here, although we do know a few small key details. His first name is Timmy, and that's based on a YouTube video where he can be heard screaming with his transgender ex-girlfriend while playing The Binding of Isaac. The video itself almost sounds like a fake skit, but I assure all of you, the autism does in fact run very deep with this one, and it is very much real.
Michael, where did you put my Snickers bar?
Wait, what are you saying, Timmy?
Michael, you took my Snickers bar. You think I didn't see you think I don't see the fucking shit you do every day after Halloween?
Your Snickers bar.
That's why I'm never gonna be with you again. I'm gonna break up with you and you're never gonna see me again. I'm gonna kill myself, Michael, and you will be the one you will pay. Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Yeah,
fuck you! I'm gonna fucking hate you no matter what, you piece of fucking shit! You fucking talking like me! Like, don't talk like me! That again!
Now, at this point, we kind of have to shift gears to Timmy's ex, because the descriptions on these videos and the comments on this now deleted YouTube video from Timmy's ex, Michael's channel, are pretty interesting to say the least. It's the holiday season, boys, which means it's time to grab a gift for the ones you pretend to love without breaking the bank. Thankfully, today's video is brought to you by Raycon. Raycons are the everyday earbuds that are a must-have for audiophiles. They've got tens of thousands of 5-star reviews online that people are raving for them, and their latest model is better than ever with 32 hours of battery life and multi-point connectivity, so you can use 2 devices at once with your Raycons. They've got active noise cancellation, so you can ignore your mom screaming at you when you're trying to listen to the Joe Rogan podcast. I've also been loving these cool protective cases they have. You just take your Raycons right here, pop it in, pop the other side in, and you're good to go. Your Raycons are protected for life. I mean, first of all, check out this design. It complements the earbuds perfectly to give a very cool, edgy edgy, and even based aesthetic. I like eating my fingernails. And not only do they look great, but the protective case still supports wireless charging, so you don't have to plug in a stupid cord. Raycons are so easy to pair, and once they're paired for life. You can walk up to 33 feet away from your phone and the sound is still top notch. And unlike other brands, Raycon comes in a variety of fun colors. Carbon black, royal blue, lavender, forest green. Whatever matches your personality type, Raycon has got it. Raycon audio quality rivals some of the best, and for a fraction of the price. It's a great affordable gift for the holiday season for your wife who you love so much. So click the link in the description or go to buyraycon.com/TomDark for up to 25% off the entire site. That's right, you'll get up to 25% off site-wide at buyraycon.com/TomDark. And thanks to Raycon for sponsoring today's video. One particular video was actually titled "Me and My Boyfriend Fighting," and apparently was uploaded by Dan's ex without his knowledge, because you can actually see his comment responding to them saying, "This is showing the telltale signs of an abusive relationship." Well, actually he said abusey there, but we're gonna fill in the blanks here a little bit for our friend. "It's not right to scream and hold hate in your heart when a relationship is about love. Open up your heart and be loving, not hateful, like the rape-ublicans we both despise." He did in fact call them that is a direct quote. Now, for another funny little detail, his ex's YouTube account is actually named Furry Gamers Against Trump, with a super cool furry trans flag YouTube profile picture, which personally I'm on board with that message. I think it's nice to see someone finally, speaking truth to power against Donald Trump. Nobody's done it before. No one's criticized him, frankly. It's kind of a new thing. And on that note, I think it's very important that we have somebody who is a furry gamer who is fighting for this issue. Now, Timmy's main pony Sona is his pony named Dan's Burst. This is a wizard pony for those who are unfamiliar, for those who don't know the lore, and he's based off of an existing My Little Pony character called Sunburst, and he really takes this pony identity very seriously. This is not a casual fan. In fact, Timmy's so deep into it, he'll use horse terminology and horse anatomy when referring to himself or speaking, such as saying every pony instead of every one, referring to women as mares instead of women. You will never catch this guy saying the word women in any video he's ever made. He also refers to his own body parts, like his feet and hands, as hooves, and perhaps most disturbing of all, he refers to children as foals. I had to look this up. I didn't know what this was, but he calls them foals. "Hey, that mare was all over my hooves, and she was just my side horse. I'm probably second only to L Money in terms of mares embedded dates ratio. We'll see how into it you are after. I'm done grazing you. I'm done grazing you." We've truly fallen down a horrible rabbit hole today. Now, one of my favorite terms that he uses is called stallionsplaining, which is obviously kind of a comparison to mansplaining, saying that you shouldn't stallionsplain to different people. He is a feminist, which is nice to see. But the thing about it is that Timmy's philosophy when it comes to immersion and role-playing actually knows no bounds. He will go further than the average mare, as it were, or the average stallion, the average foal even. In one instance, he began demanding that foals, which is once again his code word for kids, he began demanding that they enter his harem, claiming that Equestria doesn't have the human world's draconian age of consent laws, claiming that he can portal there and he can sort of take his harem of foals there, which is on one hand funny, but at the same time also very disturbing. What kind of reply is that? Did you type it with one hand? I think you were supposed to say hoof there, buddy. Hey, say hoof. I don't understand why you think I can do anything about my full harem. Equestria doesn't have the same draconian age of consent laws in this dimension's human world. You'd know if you'd portaled there like I have. Now, Timmy's political views can sometimes be a very confusing mess, because on one hand, he appears to be a typical kind of generic left-leaning guy. He's opposed to Donald Trump, which kind of makes sense. There's a lot of left-leaning people in the furry community and the brony community, but at the same time, he also likes to employ terminology like alpha and beta, and seems to actually believe that mares are inferior to men, and so often equate them to beta males, or dismiss arguments he doesn't like with reactions of extreme disgust towards this behavior as a typical female reaction. So just to be clear, if you're a woman he likes, you're a mare. If you're a woman he doesn't like, you are in fact a woman. You are in fact a female, a femoid even. He also doesn't seem to like black people very much. It's a very perplexing kind of situation going on here. "Sorry, I don't date blacks. Not even the..." Oh my god. "Sorry, I don't date blacks. Not even the R-wordable ones. That's how strong my willpower is." Well, that is extremely strong willpower. Wow, that's amazing. Typical female reaction. Emotional disgust at a social taboo thing with no logical foundation. Now, this is in reference to him expressing his ideas of being a map and the moral ethics of intercourse with animals, by the way, which of course is very logical and based of Timmy. I do appreciate seeing that from him. And just because he possibly hates women doesn't mean he can't get horny. I mean, like the rest of us, he's gonna have that kind of feeling once in a while. Timmy's expressed on numerous occasions his love and desire for the girl boss boss queen, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and frankly, who wouldn't after seeing this 100% real picture? He writes, I am utterly in love with AOC. I can't help it. Simply, there is no woman as based as her. This is why I poured out my heart in detailing a fanfiction about her, something that I wish would just happen already. I cannot hold my feelings in. Now, Timmy's also a very proud NEET, or not in education, employment, or training. This is sort of the self-imposed terminology for those who are terminally online and have nothing going for them. But he has a lot of logical reasoning behind this. I mean, in his own words, having a job makes you a beta provider. And in fact, by him not working, he dedicates himself to his true life's calling, which is very cool. It is making very low quality YouTube videos where he defends having intercourse with animals. And that is good. That is a good thing that he's doing. That is a service. He also describes him secretly trying to hoof without his family catching him while he doesn't have a job as FNAF 2020 mode, which is a reference to the brutally hardest Five Nights at Freddy's difficulty that Markiplier once beat. That is how he references this. It's oh man. That's nothing. Hoofing as a grown NEET is FNAF 2020. 4 family member animatronics, 2 entrances to the room on both sides, and worst of all, my security cameras get disabled when the internet slows. How am I ever gonna make it to 6 a.m.? That is so true. That is honestly so true, man. I understand. I get it. I do get it. I get it. Now, if it hasn't become abundantly obvious to you, Timmy does fashion himself as an intellectual with a high IQ. He likes to respond to criticism by posting very long paragraphs of bullshit, incomprehensible text, pseudo-intellectual garbage. I mean, this guy is crazy. He also really likes to use the word axiom. I don't really know why he uses the word axiom all the time, but he does. I think that in his mind, it makes him sound smarter to use that word, even though he doesn't really know what it means. Now, another respectable thing about him is the fact that he'll always debate someone, okay? He believes that it is cowardly to not engage in debate, meaning he will respond to literally anything you say about him, and he won't back down. He claims banning him from a chat, from a Discord, from any kind of site is cowardly, and he also claims to have great rebuttals and counter arguments for anyone who calls him out on his ridiculous positions, like him arguing that you should be able to do bad things with dogs. You see, as an enlightened Redditor, he has a very high IQ. He's got a lot going on here. And as a result, he rightly points out the fact that all these people criticizing him are just stupid. They're just silly. I mean, for example, one of the greatest things he does is anybody who doesn't like what he has to say about doing things with animals, if anyone's disgusted by the topic of him doing something with an animal or with a child, he calls them conformists who limit themselves. Ah, yes, the kind of conformity where you don't have sex with children. Wow, that's so bad. According to Timmy, in order to be a proper progressive, you need to believe that doing things with animals is ethical, and you need to defend it. But unfortunately for Timmy, as we all know, he's a shining beacon in a world of NPCs, which is why a lot of stupid fools respond saying, dude, you literally want to fuck animals. What are you talking about? Yes. Another great example of this is Timmy getting upset on Twitter that someone posted an image of Sonic the Hedgehog saying kill all P words, to which Timmy replied that Sonic would never ever espouse those kinds of politics, and this must be Metal Sonic impersonating him. Clearly, Timmy isn't as much of a Sonic fan as he would like you to believe, because we all know how in the 1993 cartoon The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic famously states that's no good in regards to lowering the age of consent.
If someone tries to touch you in a place or in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable, that's no good.
Now, Timmy, Dansburst, whatever you want to call him, his account is active to this day, but a few months ago, he somehow did the impossible and got a temporary ban from the Kiwi Farms for obviously being a PDF file. I don't think I've almost seen anyone get banned from that site in my years of browsing it, so this is probably the most impressive thing he's ever managed to do. My best guess as to why he was banned is because he's pretty much just digging himself into a hole by constantly posting on there, and anything he says serves up more and more evidence against him if he ever does some real life shit, so maybe they were just banning him because he was being annoying, but I think his response to this happening pretty much says it all. Just today, I was banned on the KF for some reason. Was it my Sonic tweet? Being a gay rights supporter doesn't make you gay. Same for map rights. Now, I just realized probably some of you don't know what a map is, but map is a Twitter term that came up a little bit ago, standing for minor attracted person, which obviously, you know, there's another word we call those people typically. There was a time period on Twitter and a few other sites where these maps were trying to worm their way into the LGBTQ community to kind of be accepted as an identity that could then be pushed broader for acceptance. Obviously, the kinds of people who were pushing for that acceptance were all trying to do weird things with kids themselves, and it was ultimately rejected by 99% of people within the LGBT community and outside of it. But yeah, it was a pretty dark situation for a bit there, and that ultimately is where Dansburst Studios is getting this definition. Now, a little bit of a side note, when I was trying to find a definition for map online, I found this Reddit thread of a guy trying to make maps a thing, and the first reply is, I'm a non-offending map, and I don't think we should be affiliated with the LGBT community either. And Reddit is just a wonderful place. But anyway, back to Timmy. Ponytown is a My Little Pony MMORPG social game that a lot of bronies play. And Timmy, of course, was a constant frequenter of this game. Timmy created his ponysonas called Dan's Burst and Fractured Shard in Ponytown's character creator, which frankly, they look really epic if I do say so myself. This is the kind of thing I would want to represent myself online with at all times. However, Timmy was ultimately banned from Ponytown, which he whines about and claims is unjust. So why was Timmy actually banned? Why was this injustice done to him? Well, he was apparently banned for being homophobic, transphobic, and a pro-shipper, and perhaps most disturbingly of all, trying to make platonic friends with foals, being children. Now, Timmy's response to the ban was not to take it lying down. No, instead he wrote an entire a whole ass book rebuttal to this about how the mods are conspiring against him, the deep state, the media, they're all coming for him. CNN's coming for him just like they came for Trump. Meanwhile, he was banned for being weird and asking to hang out with kids. So I think that's probably a better reason to ban him than anything else I can possibly imagine. One user that seems knowledgeable about Ponytown really stressed how hard it was to actually get banned and that the mods needed actual evidence. If you got perma'd, you were doing something fucked. So that's twice now Timmy has managed to take on the Herculean task of being banned in two places that you would think you just can't get banned in. He is surpassing world records for being banned on sites that nobody gets banned on. And without further ado, I think it's time to get to his YouTube content because this is where Timmy really starts to shine. You see, Dan's Burst Debunks is Timmy's main series of videos that he uploads on YouTube. They feature him attempting to debunk common misconceptions about taboo topics such as whether PDF files should be thrown in wood chippers or whether or not doing, having some kind of relationship type thing with a dog is ethical. These videos typically feature Timmy spewing some pretty crazy, incomprehensible word salad, or frankly just having a spurg out when he starts screaming very, very, very loudly.
This is what it leads to. You end up making a mockery of depression and social anxiety. I mean, look at this. Look at this.
Now, it's at this point in our story that we get to introduce a new character, and that character is Savanity Ale, who is Timmy's editor, who he actually describes as a man-child. Timmy describes his own editor as a man-child. But somehow, despite having this editor, the audio quality in Timmy's videos is literally dog shit. Like, there's one really notable issue where whenever music is played, it's way too loud and it completely drowns out his audio, so you can't even hear what he's saying, which on one hand makes the videos unwatchable, but at the same time, nobody should really be watching them anyway, frankly, so maybe he did us a favor. In his first video, he covered a little piece of brony drama, and in it, he gets very angry regarding people who want to throw PDF files and wood chippers, which he compares to senseless police brutality akin to George Floyd.
You can get the most progressive person who advocates for the most progressive policies in prison system, and they go like, what happens when you bring up minor attracted pedophilia, minor attracted people? They go like, no, base, death penalty, base, brutalist, senseless violence, police brutality, base, yeah, you call yourself leftist and you support this? What the hell are we talking about? Even a 5-year-old can see this doesn't make any sense at all. Yeah, police brutality, huh? So much for George Floyd's death. Yeah. Thanks a lot.
You could take any screenshot from this video and it would look like a shit post. Like, just look at this dude. What is he talking about? He has a fat inflated pony picture next to a fat black Lizzo impersonator with the title Fat Phobia. And it's so hard to hear what he's saying half the time. You could click at any random point in this video, and if I had seen this out of context, I would think that it's a troll channel that's parodying this kind of cartoon creature gives commentary on insane subject. But this is a real person that exists, okay? This is not a troll. This guy is a real guy. Here we can also see Timmy utilizing the Wojak as a core base to his logical and objective arguments, which I think is pretty good and valid.
This is Ashley. This is Ashley right here. This is what you still got pictures. Weird, ew, that's so weird.
This is not the worst of his videos, though. You see, Timmy's epic intellectual magnum opus is in fact a 25-minute video where he defends zoophilia and attempts to argue that it is moral. This is the video that Timmy is the most proud of, in fact. The video was made in response to a furry called Tibbles Yorkie, which is just a great name, but Tibbles Yorkie blocked him on Twitter after he tried to debate that zoophilia was ethical with her after she said that defending it makes you a bad person. And I think, to give Tibbles Yorkie some credit here, Tibbles Yorkie, I think that she was right. Now, the thumbnail here even contains a very interesting image where it appears that a dog is licking peanut butter off of a female. So, yeah.
I'm going to be arguing against two separate but related claims. First, that zoophilia is morally wrong. And next, that zoophilia should be illegal. Well, let's start with the first.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
Obviously, we don't have to do a play-by-play of this video to epically debunk it or explain his claims, because I think it's obvious that inherently this is the most insane and retarded thing imaginable, but here are a few of the greatest hits. The first epic argument he makes is if you're willing to eat animals, then you should also be willing to put yourself inside of them, which, you know, he's going for a very kind of Reddit debate bro argument here, and I understand if you're falling down some rabbit holes, you might want to make this comparison, but I do think the important thing to remember, of course, is that eating animals is kind of part of the food chain naturally. That is, you know, what we're supposed to do. We're omnivores. We eat all kinds of things, including animals, but we're actually not supposed to breed with another species, and we can do a lot of harm to that animal while it's still alive if we do that. So I think that Timmy should probably maybe explore that wood chipper option, if I was to be honest. He might have a kind of brain worm. I don't know if we can fix that. Perhaps he's got kind of an RFK type problem, so I think we need to help him out and get that brain worm out.
Here's my main claim. Even if all humans had readily available 100% nutritious bland tofu, it wouldn't be wrong or immoral for a human to hunt and kill an ostrich, either because they like the taste of its meat or because they enjoy the thrill of the hunt. It turns out that this is all we need to deduce that zoophilia is not immoral.
Now, the rest of this video has a lot of funny moments as well, like him comparing regular people who own iPhones to people who do things with dogs and saying these things are morally comparable. All that fun kind of Redditor lingo that you're used to seeing online. And unsurprisingly, given the fact that it defended the act of doing weird things with animals, Timmy's video wasn't exactly the best received. This is pretty evident from the likes and dislikes. You know, even though this video has pretty low amount of views, he wasn't viewed the most favorably. It kind of left his target audience a little bit. But in the comment section, Timmy claims he would rather be a weirdo than a conformist. Well, eventually, on August 22nd, 2024, Timmy would end up debating a pretty familiar face if you've been in political YouTube named Hunter Avalone on the morality of doing things with animals. And unsurprisingly, Hunter would actually have a pretty good win here, and he really came out as the clear winner of this debate, whereas Timmy came off as a very spastic, insane person to all of Hunter's audience. There was also a really great moment here where they were debating and, you know, on the topic of doing things with animals, and Hunter's dog appeared in frame, and the dog honestly looked pretty scared, like almost like he knew what was going on here.
Engage in some kind of sex with like a dog or something, you would literally, you could
Why would you do that to Kilmer?
why would you do that to
Why
Kilmer?
would you do that to Kilmer?
Sorry, she's
Why would you do that
Please,
to him?
please don't f my dog.
because they're not my type.
Now, following this conversation, Timmy would make massive cope posts about it on his YouTube community page that I'm not going to read all of it because it's mostly boring bullshit, but he did do it for obvious reasons. And a few days ago, Dansburst Studios actually made a video responding to his own Kiwi Farms posts, and similar to the past two, this one is also a pretty good gem. Timmy only reads one half of his OP. He screeches about transphobia, homophobia, cultural appropriation, and Indians, or Native Americans rather, being given casinos, to name a few weird things. He also does a dedicated segment berating the spoiled Kiwis for giving him a pink triangle, saying, "Did you even concentrate? Maybe you're the one who belongs in a concentration camp," which is crazy.
It's concentration camps. Concentration camps. Were you guys even concentrating at all when you thought about the moral and ethical implications of putting something like this on your website? Maybe you guys need to be sent to a concentration camp for your ADHD.
But my personal favorite segment is when he declares that he is not a new male. He is not a beta male. Okay, he is in fact a based male. And his reasoning why is because he actively surrounds himself with beautiful mares and actively cucks his one true sweetheart, who is named Starlight Glimmer. And apparently she's okay with this. Starlight Glimmer is okay with him running around on her because she knows he is an alpha.
I'm being surrounded by two mares. I'm literally cuckolding Starlight. Even though she's my soulmate, I'm able to cuckold her a little, and she likes it. And she likes it because she knows that I'm her soulmate. She knows that I'm the only one who could bring a spirit of intellectual vigor into her life. So much so that I'm able to, let's say, horse around with a little friend of mine, and it's still a good deal for her.
Frankly, you kind of need to watch the entire video to appreciate it in its entirety. But after this response, obviously a lot of people wanted to hear more about what he had to say. They thought he was a good intellectual guy. And as a result, he did a very lengthy interview with some random guy on YouTube where they debated his beliefs as well as went into his very weird Discord server and the actions that Dan was tolerating there, such as a 25-year-old man telling a 13-year-old that they're both the same age because he's mentally 13. That is one of the things happening in his Discord that he was chill and cool with. Dan even gets his mom at one point to try convincing him that there are no minors in the server, which is just crazy.
I could even get my mom. I could even get my mom to talk to you on the phone.
You're gonna get your mom on the. You're gonna get your mom on the phone. Why are you gonna get your mom on the phone? Can you not answer for yourself? You're gonna get your mom.
Mom, just
You're gonna get your mom on the line.
there are no minors. Please, just tell me.
You're gonna get your mom on the line.
Yes.
Please don't get
I'm
your mom
alive.
alive, dude. I'm being real,
Please.
man. Listen,
There
get
are
your.
no minors. Mom,
Timothy, what's going on?
Mom, I just need you to confirm
Oh,
for me.
please.
Everyone's asking me that there are no minors on the line. That I do not have anyone coming over for a play date. No.
Timothy, stop.
Just please confirm yes or no.
No.
There is
You
no
have
one
nobody
over
coming for a
play
play date. Why would you have minors coming?
No.
Why is your
No.
mom having to
No.
confirm this?
No.
Okay, so just that's.
But does your mom? Hey.
Now, after the interview, Dan would end up saying that he deleted his Discord server, and that's pretty much it for that kind of situation. Frankly, I think Dan is a great example of what happens when your brain gets rotten to the core with what I like to call a certain aspect of autism, but really Reddit and really like just being a fucking idiot. You know, I think there can be merits to discussing these topics, but when you get to the point where you're arguing against the age of consent, I think it's probably time to go outside and maybe just do literally anything else. So yeah, that's about it for today's video, but thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Bye.